Welcome to Don't Pack, Just Move. Not the book, but the show. You already have the book. Look, I'm your host, R. Michael Tarpley, author, motivational speaker, business coach, and entrepreneur. And you know what we come to do? Come to give you some nuggets to help you think bigger, be stronger, and go further. Today, we're going to be talking about the church. As we talked about in the last episode, we're going to do a part 2, and we're going to keep the series moving. I feel it, and I just ended the last, not just, maybe about an hour ago, ended the last session, but I was so fired up, I said I got to finish it out. So listen, stay tuned. We're going to be right back. And welcome back. So look, we were talking about the purpose of the church and what we're supposed to be doing, what's supposed to be done to help people elevate and to be edified, right? And to move forward in our spiritual well-being, but also in our practical living here on earth, right? To help other people. But we can't help other people, right, if we can't help ourselves. In other words, I can't help you pay your light bills if my light bill isn't getting paid. That's nonsense. That's crazy. Somebody say crazy. That's crazy. Listen, I want abundance. This is what, God has talked about. I want abundance. I'm not greedy. Not greedy. That's not the point. My abundance is to help other people. So you can help other people in abundance just by having a few extra dollars on your check, a few extra dollars at the end of paying all your bills. But my point is, you're going to pay your bills and you're going to take care of your responsibilities. Oh, no, man, nothing but to love them. You're going to take care of your responsibilities. And then what's left over, you can help somebody else out with. That's simple, right? And I'm not saying you don't enjoy it. The Bible tells you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. Enjoy it. Take yourself a trip. Go out to eat. Buy yourself something nice. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to do it in moderation because the goal is to be able to help somebody else enjoy life as well. Now, I'm not saying consistently give someone a fish, as the old cliche would say. I'm saying teach people on how to fish so they eat for the rest of their lives. Y'all know that one, right? And that is the true goal, right? It's not so much of giving people money, though you have, in some cases that is the necessity. But once that's done, because some people can't hear you. I used to always say, some people can't hear you over the growling in their stomach. They can't hear what you're trying to teach. So if you quench the growling in the stomach, you feed them, you give them something to drink if they're thirsty, and then they may listen to what you have to say. But until then, I can't hear you. I'm distracted by the growling in my stomach. So, but once you've done that, the goal as a Christian, as the church, is to fundamentally help them set a structure, a mindset, and a structure to be able to deal with the challenges that come along in life. The challenges with your kids, the challenges with your spouse, the challenges of not having a spouse, the challenges of a financial hardship, being in debt and not looking like you can get out, the challenges of being laid off or let go from your job, the challenges of being on a job you don't like, and so forth and so on. Everybody has challenges. Everybody is dealing with situations and circumstances in their lives, and no one is exempt from it. Anyone who tells you they're exempt and, all these cliches and too blessed to be stressed and all this other stuff, yeah, okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. But people can't identify. And the reason why, in some cases, church membership is dropping off in this age, in this generation, than other generations is because there are a ton of leaders who don't want to be honest about life. And this generation is honest about life. And they want some real concrete solutions. They don't want to hear about the blood of goats and bullocks. They don't want to hear about what happened in Egypt during those days. They don't want to hear about the Red Sea being parted and all that other stuff. Good stuff, I get it, but you got to feed the hunger first. Stop the growling in order to get their attention and to teach them the principles that will help their lives be better. We can't just jump into, let's throw it down their throat, let's give it to them the way it was given to us. You're going to have to be more creative. You're going to have to use what God's given you, the talents and skills, because I believe that the leaders, there are leaders in the world for such a time as this. This is a generation that's different. You're going to have to be different. Listen, it's not just even about this generation. In general, people are fed up with saying that they've been, as I said on the last one, been in the church for 30 years, been at this church for 30 years, and their grandmothers and grandfathers have been there and helped build the church and so forth and so on. But they haven't gotten any better. In fact, they've gotten worse, like the woman with the issue of blood. I spent all my money. I've gone to every physician, but I'm not getting better. Why is that? I'm looking at the wrong spot. The church is out of debt, but I'm still in debt. How is that? I'm funding getting the church out of debt, but I'm still in debt. Something has to reconcile in my mind to make that okay. And at this stage, I'm thinking, I've been there 30 years. I helped the church pay off one debt just so we can build another church or a hall or whatever the next building was, just to build that, create another debt, and I've helped them pay that off as well. All the while, I'm not making that much more money, or maybe I am, but I'm not able to retain or save any more money because I'm constantly paying off other debt, and my debt's continuing to accrue interest. In fact, I'm being asked to pay my tithes and offerings on a credit card. Something has to give. This doesn't work. This isn't sustainable. I need a different type of teaching that's going to help me get ahead. Because listen, if I learn how to have multiple streams of income, if I learn how to make more money, then I have the ability to give more money. But more importantly, I have the experience, the knowledge, the know-how to go to my family and to my community, my neighborhood, and teach other people how to do exactly what I'm doing. And at the same time, when they come to me, and it's a witnessing tool, it's not just about money, because when they come to me and they say, how did you do that? I remember when you were like this. I remember when you were like that. And no one thought you would do anything. And now here you are with a multi-million-dollar business. How did you do, or businesses, and how did you do this? And I get the opportunity, or you get the opportunity to simply say, God help me. Now, that's not the only, I'm not going to stop there, because that would be a travesty. God was merciful to me. I can't do that. I can say that because it's true, but then I gotta tell you some fundamental practices or principles that I was able to follow to help me get there. I need to point them in the right direction. I need to teach. I'm not going to give them the million that I worked on to get, but I got to teach you on how to do it. I've done it. Now, I have to teach you on how to do it. because you can do it too. And I think this is where there's a disconnect in the church today, where we're just simply saying, give it, and you'll somehow get it back. Again, I'm not against giving. I am for obedience to God. And when God says give, I believe you should give, because then that is going to be your blessing. The first miracle, when Jesus turned water into wine, as the first, it's the first fruit, right? So it sets precedence for all other miracles that come behind it. And it says, Mary said to the disciples, whatever he says to do, just do it. That sets the precedence. Whatever he says to do, you do it. Not always what the pastor say. Not always what the friends say. Not always what mom and dad say. Whatever he says to do, you do it. And so, I think within the church, when we get out of our own way, with some of our way of thinking that is routine, that is religious, traditional, I think we can help other people. We get back to our roots, to where we can help the village achieve greatness instead of ourselves achieving greatness. When we get the Rolls Royce, as I mentioned in the last video, the Rolls Royce and the jet, and it's about us. But when I can help you get a jet and get a Rolls Royce, you might not want it. That's fine. I may not want a Rolls Royce or jet. But so let me say it this way: it's not about getting the Rolls Royce or the jet. It's about being in a position to have it if you want it. So if I'm in a position, I want to make sure you're in a position, and I'm ensuring that every person that's in this church who wants that position can also get in that position financially. But that's not my only cause. Obviously, spiritual is my main cause, is to make sure that you're in that mansion in heaven when your time is up here on the earth. That is my chief goal, no doubt. But while you're on the earth, I have some other goals. I need to make sure God has given me some other goals. Not me particularly, I'm talking about leaders. In the church, your goal is to help people get healthy, stay healthy. Don't live in pain. Don't live in misery. To do the best you can to be healthy, to have a good family, be able to see your generations, your kids and your grandkids and your great grandkids, if that, and play with them and be healthy enough to run with them and play basketball or enjoy some time with them. And so you want to be able to do all these things financially, be able to take your family on trips, expose them to different things, get them off the block. People, listen, get them off I know plenty of people in Baltimore who don't like to, when I used to live up in that area, who don't like to leave Baltimore, don't like to leave Maryland, who hasn't. And I'm talking 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds. And if you don't expose yourself, I'm not saying you have to go somewhere to expose yourself. You can do that in the library. You can do that on social media, YouTube now. Expose yourself, but it's a different feeling. It's a different understanding when you actually go somewhere. So I'm saying that to expose yourself to something different, and go to a different country, to go to a different city, to go to a coastal town versus if you live inland, or whatever the case is. When you expose yourself to something different, it is going to trigger something in you. You're going to see something that you haven't seen before. Some of us haven't seen real poverty. Some of us haven't seen real wealth. And when you expose yourself to something different, you can be something different. You have to be able to see it. Spiritually, you have to be able to see it. Physically, I think it helps to see it. But anyway, we're going to end on this one right now, and we're going to come back with another video on this topic. We're going to do the series. I don't know how many are going to be in the series, but we'll see. But I think it's all good stuff. So listen, don't forget, hit me below. I can come to your town. I can come to your seminars, your conferences, or whatever, and talk about this as an author, as a motivational speaker, business coach, and entrepreneur. I can do these things for sure. So just hit me below. Click the like, click the subscribe, click the bell and notification bell and all these other buttons. Share, add some comments, do whatever you got to do. I appreciate it. And we're going to talk again soon. You get it, you got it, you're gone. Be good.